Welcome to my review of Justice League Throne of Atlantis. Justice League Throne of Atlantis is a continuation of Justice League War. In Justice League War, we got an introduction of the Justice League. In this film, we're gaining an introduction to one Justice League character, and that one Justice League character is Aquaman. Aquaman basically got his own movie for an introduction. I think this is basically DC Comics going, you guys, Aquaman isn't as lame as you think he is. He's a pretty badass character. And here's this movie where we're going to show why he's a badass character. Obviously following the New 52 storyline with Aquaman, the one that was written by Geoff Johns. And I like that story because it really showcases Aquaman as a very badass character. He's more deeper than what you think. They show that this is a guy who has struggles in his life. He's not a perfect person. He gets drunk, he goes to bars, he gets into bar fights. He is not the most polite, nicest guy, and you get that introduction to him in this movie, and you also get the origin story of who he is and what his connection to Atlantis is. And this film basically breaks down the origin story of Aquaman and how he becomes Aquaman and why he becomes the king of Atlantis. When you learn about his half-brother who ends up then becoming the Ocean Master and him being who he is. There's that struggle there that then the Justice League have to come together and come and fight against Ocean Master, who is, again, Arthur Curry's half-brother. So I went into this movie with pretty high expectations because everything I was seeing from it was like, this looks pretty badass, and I do want to see the Geoff Johns story of the New 52, which I did read. As a person who's read the story, you're always thinking, they should have put that one thing there. They should have, you know, not put that thing there and replaced it with that other thing. So then you become really critical towards the film, and I kind of regret reading, you know, the New 52 with Aquaman and watching this movie because I found myself being very, like, nitpicky with the film and not feeling like I really appreciate it as much as I would have if I did not know the story whatsoever. DC comic animated movies, like, you can never be disappointed with them. I mean, you can always say it's not as good as insert movie name here, but you can never say, oh, that movie was just absolutely terrible. At least for me, like, I enjoy all their movies, but this movie just felt really rushed and short. That's what I didn't like about it. But with that said, there was a lot of aspects about it that I really did like. I loved the team up between the Justice League. I loved the comedy in the movie. There were certain situations in the movie that had me laughing out loud. There's just one scene with Black Manta that had me rolling on the floor. He had this exchange with Aquaman that was absolutely hilarious for me that I couldn't stop laughing after hearing it. There were things like that that really brought up the movie, but there were other things that, again, brought down the movie. And I think the thing that really just I did not like about the film, the negative, is that I felt like the story was very rushed. I just felt like there were just certain things that I wish was in the movie, and I wish there were certain things that they spent more time on in this film, and I wish the film didn't feel so rushed, because that was my biggest issue, and I can't stress that enough. It's just I felt the movie was just too rushed. But outside from that, I really did enjoy the movie when it came to, like, you know, the Justice League characters just interacting with each other, because those are always such funny and fun scenes. I really did enjoy what they were doing with Superman and Wonder Woman and their relationship. I'm always rooting for those two. So I definitely recommend this movie to anybody who likes the DC comic animated movies. Check it out. Those who want to get reintroduced to Aquaman, check this movie out because you'll really appreciate Aquaman's story, and most likely the story that's going to be his story in the DC cinematic universe with Jason Momoa. I feel like they're going to take a lot of aspects of Geoff Johns' New 52 and they're going to introduce that into the Aquaman that we're going to see on the silver screen. At least I'm speculating they are. I feel like they're going to go that route in a way. So that is my review of Justice League Throne of Atlantis. Thank you for watching, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. The Babadook is directed by Jennifer Kent. It stars Essie Davis and a bunch of other very talented actors and actresses. Now, the premise of the movie follows the story of a mother who is played by Essie Davis and her son. And basically her son has behavior problems and he has a lot of night terrors. And then what ends up happening that the mother ends up reading a book to her son that is titled The Babadook, and the son ends up getting scared of this book to the point that the mother then starts believing that this